Sex trafficking, human trafficking, violence is not new. It's been since the day one.
I often think, how did I end up out on the streets?
There's always a need, right? And there's that calling that Jesus said, hey, if you see that I'm down, pick me up. Like basic stuff.
I'm from Vancouver, Washington, born and raised. I was a cheerleader. I had a lot of friends, and I ended up meeting a man in a club, and the next day I woke up in Tacoma, and then the day after that we were in San Francisco, and that was it, right? It was very quick. I was physically assaulted, beaten by the men who bought me, raped.
I feel like we get so caught up in our day-to-day life, screens in our face, and me is our culture right now. But being able to take time and really look at, how can I be of service? How can I love on someone in a way that is, needed or whatever? I think that is what we're called to do. And now it's a matter of if you're going to answer it or not. I don't know. Back in 2018, I was invited to participate in a course called Mending the Soul, which talks about abuse, and it talks about abuse in all forms, sex trafficking and domestic violence, and how it's affecting our community and how we can come alongside and help them. So that's where I kind of got introduced to it. In that, they were asking how we wanted to get involved. A few of us got together and we're like, okay, well, you get the soap, you get the tampons, I'll try to get Kleenex, and let's get some clothes so we can put it in a backpack to give to the advocates, to be able to give to the survivors when they come. I felt more of this kind of pull and this call on my heart, be like, oh, I can create a space to be able to give them clothes, and that was kind of the beginning of it. Creation of the shop actually started when I was in the basement. When my first person came into the basement, she came in and she was just looking for some shampoo, like something simple. And I'd worked literally 24 hours to get the place cleaned and organized, just because I wanted to make it at least somewhat inviting to her. So anyways, I convinced her to look into some clothes, and I started putting outfits together for her, and I got a pair of jeans, and she's like, I haven't worn jeans in forever. And I was like, well, those look amazing on you. And then when she left, I was like, it was so lovely meeting you. And you could see she had like a little spark in her eye. She's just like, thank you so much. And I was like, no problem. And she left, and I just knew it. At that point in time, I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But in the basement, it's creepy, and nobody wants to go in the basement. And so I thought that it would be really cool to create a boutique, a place where we could create kind of a magic, and where not only the customers were excited to be there and shop and they felt like they were getting a deal, but the survivors were able to feel special, and that they were like, oh my gosh, I get to shop here. Like, they felt a little hope. And so our role at the shop has become to be able to come alongside the advocates and the organizations that are actively working with survivors and help them. And so we pack a suitcase full of clothes for them, something tangible that they could own themselves and they could start over with. So we're a 501c3. Northwest Collaborative is the name. The idea with the Northwest Collaborative is to be able to collaborate with other organizations and nonprofits that are there trying to help people in the community. The shop is just the first initiative. The goal for the shop is to be able to create more and have more locations all over. Along the I-5 corridor would be ideal. And ultimately, is like every city has domestic violence and sex trafficking and situations that are just not that great. And everyone is in need of clothing and basic survival hygiene-ish stuff. And so if we can create different locations for more easier access, that's kind of the goal, but all self-sustaining.
When I was exploited being trafficked in Hawaii, one of the things that I remember doing would be going to a thrift shop. But for me to be able to go in there and put something nice on, even though I knew it didn't change my situation, it made me feel better about myself. There's so many times where you just feel so hopeless. And if it's a shirt that can just shift your thinking for that second, right?
I think that ultimately looking someone in the eye and telling them that they're important is one of the most powerful things that you can do. I think that because they are, that we are children of God. We've been given a gift of life. We've been given a gift of being able to create and dream And those dreams and those creation moments for these particular people have been put on hold, and they've been discarded and they've been taken advantage of. And so to be able to love on them and say, so you're going to get through this, and what's coming ahead is going to be even more amazing. Just wait, kind of a thing. Our goal is to love on people. And in loving on them, we're offering tangible clothing and basic hygiene essentials. Come help us. Volunteer, shop, and donate.